President al-Assad sends a letter to President Rafael Correa of Ecuador, who expresses support for Syria against foreign interventions in it. And before his visit to Paris, the Russian foreign minister asserts that the only solution to the crisis in Syria would be through dialogue. The Syrian Arab Armed Forces inflict heavy casualties on al-Qaeda terrorists in several areas. Good afternoon, this is News in English. President Bashar al-Assad sent a letter to President Rafael Correa of Ecuador. The Deputy Foreign Minister, Dr. Faisal al-Miqdad, delivered the letter to the Ecuadorian Foreign Minister, Ricardo Patiño, who asked him to convey the greetings of the Ecuadorian President to President al-Assad. He asserted support for Syria against any foreign military intervention or threat. Al-Miqdad briefed him on recent events and developments in Syria during the past few months, and the campaign against Syria for its resistance to the plots concocted against this region. Al-Miqdad explained the suspicious role of the tools of Western imperialism in the region, particularly Turkish support for the armed terrorist groups. He stressed Syria's steadfastness and President Assad's efforts to foil this conspiracy and those in the Gulf region who stand behind it to threaten Syria's security and stability. The Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev announced shortly before his coming visit to Paris today that France's support for the so-called Syrian coalition violates international law. No country should try to change the political system of any other country by force. Medvedev renewed the Russian attitude, calling for solving the crisis politically through dialogue. He asserted that the desire to recognize any other political force as the sole representative of another country is an uncivilized act. He called attention that the Syrian opposition should try to come to power in a legitimate way and not through weapons supplied by other countries. Asserting that Russia's military cooperation with Syria remained compatible with international law, Russia supported Syria with defensive weapons against foreign aggression. He added that according to the principles of the international law approved by the UN in the 1970s, no country should try to change the system of another country by force. Units of the Syrian Arab Armed Forces attacked terrorist groups of al-Qaeda who committed savage crimes in Damascus countryside. Our armed forces destroyed a vehicle to the west of the vegetable market that carried weapons to the terrorists, together with another vehicle carrying machine gun near the mosque of Abu Bakr, killing and wounding all the terrorists there. Another unit of our armed forces clashed with terrorist groups and destroyed their weapons in the area of Sayyida Zainab. In Al-Diyabiyyah, our armed forces killed and wounded members of another terrorist group and destroyed their weapons. Our armed forces also killed one of the most dangerous terrorists who caused panic in Yalda area. In Idlib countryside, units of our Syrian Arab Armed Forces continue to carry out very precise operations against gatherings of mercenaries and terrorist groups who were involved in committing acts of killing and looting. A unit of our Syrian Arab Army destroyed today a vehicle equipped with a heavy machine gun in Harim, killing a number of terrorists and injuring many others, who were immediately carried to Turkish territories by Turkish ambulances. Another unit of the Syrian Army clashed with an armed terrorist group near the site of Wadi Dif in Ma'arat al-Numan, killing a number of terrorists and wounding many others, while 2 soldiers of our armed forces were injured. Last night, a unit of our Syrian Arab Army eliminated a gathering of terrorists who were cutting off roads and erecting barricades in the city of Syrian, killing and injuring most of them. Another unit of our army fought a gathering of terrorists in the city of Saraqib, killing and wounding many terrorists. In Homs, a unit of our armed forces attacked terrorist groups in Al-Khalidiyya quarter, killing and wounding a large number of them. The dead terrorists included the Saudis Abdullah al-Ghimadi, Muqadir Abd al-Baqi, Abd al-Jalil al-Harami, Omar Makki, Jawad and Jawi Abu Bakr. The dead terrorists from Libya included Muftah Abd al-Baqi, Muhammad al-Misrati and Khalil Muhammad Haqi. The Turkish paper Yort asserted that more than 8,000 terrorists were being trained by Israeli and American officers. Most of those terrorists belonged to al-Qaeda. The Turkish government was supplying them with weapons and ammunition in addition to monthly salaries. The paper pointed out that most of the inhabitants of the village of Kazitlaşa were forced to leave because of the military training of those terrorists. The Turkish newspaper stressed that the crimes in Idlib, Latakia and Kasab were all plotted and planned in these camps before Turkish soldiers who turned a blind eye to such suspicious activities. Koca Junah, the representative of the Turkish opposition People's Republican Army, asserted that Erdogan's government was joining Qatar in supporting the terrorists of al-Qaeda in Syria with weapons. This raised the money spent by Erdogan's government to unprecedented record level. In a new Israeli violation of the ceasefire, which was reached 8 days after the Israeli aggression on Gaza, a Palestinian was wounded by Israeli gunfire in Al-Farahin, east of Khan Yunis, to the south of Gaza Strip. Another Palestinian was also killed by wounds sustained on the first day of the Israeli aggression on Gaza. The new Israeli violation is the third since the truce took effect, as 2 Palestinians were killed and 25 others wounded in previous Israeli violations over the past 2 days. The Israeli occupation repeats its violations. Palestinian sources revealed that the recent Israeli aggression has targeted Gaza by firing 3,000 shells of different kinds, inflicting material damage that is estimated by $1.2 billion. Over 8 days, the Palestinian government confirmed that the Israeli occupation used its artillery, military boats and warships to hit certain locations by other 1,500 shells, while more than 200 residential buildings were completely destroyed and 8,000 houses were partially damaged. As for the facilities and the non-residential buildings, 24 of them were completely destroyed, including governmental and security headquarters as a medical center, and 3 mosques were completely destroyed. With this, we reach the end of our news for today. You can visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Stay with us. After the break, Denise has the latest in economy.